I walked down the aisle to Christmas songs. That is what I did. Thank God my wedding was in December 1st. It worked out. It made it look like it was part of the whole Christmas thingy. And it wasn't so obvious because most of my guests were Africans, and I don't think they even paid attention to the fact that it was a Christmas song. But it was.
Boy, now you make me float, float, float. Boy, you really give me high. Ooh, I feel like I'm on dope, dope. 'Cause you.
So without further delay, we're going to jump right into this video. So number one, you need to make sure you're praying. In Ephesians 6, the Bible talks about how we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers in high and rulers of darkness in high places. You don't know who is attending your wedding. You don't know who's even helping you plan that wedding. You're not aware of who they are spiritually, as far as who's going to be making your food, the kind of guests you're going to have, the photographers, the person making your dress, the people touching your head, the people doing your makeup. You don't know who they are spiritually. Everybody can present themselves as one thing physically, but spiritually, you might not be aware of who they truly are. So it is important, especially if you're not prayerful, and especially if God has not revealed it to you, or you're not in line or in touch with your sense of, how will I say, intuition, or let's see, there's another word I'm looking for, but when I think about it, I'll let you guys know. Anyway, when you do not feel like you're spiritually strong enough, I don't want you going into this thinking that this is just a physical thing. This is just as much a spiritual thing. And a lot of things that happen in the physical first happen in the spiritual. So it is important that you pray, you give thanks to God, and you ask for his covering. Because you want to make sure that you're not just doing this because of the celebration, but you're doing this because you want your marriage to last, and you want that anything that has to do with your marriage will be fruitful and will flourish. So it is very important that you pray first and leave everything in God's hands. That would be my first tip for you. Now, moving forward. Secondly, we are going to talk about your budget. You have to make sure that whatever date you set is in line with your budget. For example, if you have 6 months to plan and you're not Dangote's daughter or Donald Trump's daughter or son, please, and you're doing it on your own financially, or you don't have a village that is supporting you, it is very important for you to understand this. Plan your date according to how much you want to spend and according to your vision for your wedding. You can have a Donald Trump / Dangote / Queen Elizabeth's kids wedding if you are planning to have a wedding in 2-3 years, because at that point you're able to save for that. But now if you're planning on having a wedding in 6 months, working a $30 an hour or less job, it's unrealistic, because we're talking about your other bills, rent, food, car note, whatever it is you have going on in your life. We're talking about other bills that may come up, miscellaneous, family tragedies, or whatever the case may be. So it is important that you plan yourself accordingly, that you are able to budget yourself in a way that helps you and your spouse not be stressed or not feel like you guys are in a corner when it comes to finances or when it comes to paying deposits, because you're going to be doing a lot of that. You're going to be paying a lot of deposits. You're going to find yourself going to a lot of tastings, a lot of tours. It's important for you to plan. Be realistic with yourself. If you know that you're looking for a $5,000 to $10,000 wedding that you can do in 6 months, great for you. It's very possible. Do not let anyone tell you it's not. But if you're looking at a $200,000 wedding, well, you need a little bit more time with that kind of paycheck. So you have to be realistic with yourself. I'm going to say leave room for stress. When I say that, it sounds really bad, but it's just the reality of planning a wedding. Stress creeps in one way or the other. I don't care if you are the most prayerful person in the world. I don't care if you're a heathen. I don't care, Muslim, Christian, whatever. The fact that you're planning an event comes with its own stress, because there are certain things you cannot control. So it is important that you need to leave room for stress. Now, how you stress It's very important. You don't want to be snapping at your partner. You don't want to be snapping at everyone around you. So leaving that room means leaving room for rest. You see how they coincide? You need to rest. You need to breathe. You need to give your mind some space. So it is important that you leave that room for stress, please. Thirdly, stick to your budget. A lot of times when you're planning something, especially something that has to do with outside forces such as vendors, people making your cake, the venue, you find yourself upgrading. You find yourself going and you're like, oh, why don't I just do this? It's just $10 more. It's just $50 more. It's just $100 more. Why take this package and not this package? It all adds up. So it is very important that you have a budget and you are sticking to that budget. Give yourself $1,000 wiggle room with your budget. The reason why I say this is because we're human beings. And sometimes, even for those who are frugal with their spending, sometimes you'll go and you'll see that a certain package is a little better than the last package that you thought was good enough. So you probably want to upgrade because it has a lot more in there and it would make a lot more sense than for you to hire several vendors to do the same thing. So it is very important that you stick to your budget for hidden costs. During my wedding, I remember us having to pay for HPD, for example. Once we got there, it looked like we had a lot more guests than we had planned for. So there were 2 or 3 extra HPD officers at our wedding that we didn't plan on paying, but we had to pay them because we had at least 100 more people than were invited to our wedding. So it is very important that you leave room for hidden costs and you also stick to your budget. Number 4, understand that the venue, decorators, and food will be your largest expense. The reason why I say this is because once those 3 factors are out of the way, everything else can be modified. You can decide to choose a cheaper dress than the dress that you would have gone with otherwise. You can decide to, choose a different type of cake. You can decide that your bridesmaids and groomsmen can wear something else. You can decide that you want a different type of DJ for a certain amount of hours. All these things can be modified. However, because you have a type of wedding that you want and a dream, I would not suggest you, modifying your venue. I would not suggest you going down on the food because people remember the food. I remember the food. And especially if you hire a good decorator, I would not suggest you just hiring anyone because you will cry premium tears. You will cry premium tears. Do not go low on your decorator. Do not try to play your decorator. Do not, if you know you cannot afford a certain standard of a decorator, please, by all means, extend the time that you're supposed to have that wedding and have it at a later time, and then save up for the decorator that you do want. But I will not suggest that you play with your decorator. Unless you are deciding that you want one of those all-inclusive weddings where the venue takes care of the decorations and does all those things for you. But even at that, I would say make sure they have pictures, make sure you've seen what they're doing, and also make sure that they do a table sample whereby you're able to see what your guest table would look like. And also, when you're choosing your backdrop for your stage, have the venue show you that they've done it before, because you do not want to be disappointed on one of the most important days of your life. Moving on, be patient with your partner. This is so important. I'll give you an example. On my wedding day, we had a big argument about a few things that didn't go the way we had planned for it to go. Things that he was responsible for and things that I was responsible for as well. We had a big argument. Glory to God that one of our aunts was able to take us to the side and say, you know what? It's about the marriage, not the wedding. You guys are the only ones seeing what is wrong and what is not happening or what didn't happen, but everybody else is enjoying themselves. They probably didn't even notice, but if you make it obvious, then they will notice. So it is important for you to not go off on your partner. It is important for you to give grace It is important for you to understand that it is about the marriage. It is about the union. It is about the person you are marrying. It's not about the wedding and just the celebration. It's great, it's cool, but when the day is happening, it's already happening. Whatever wasn't done before then is not going to get done now. So it is very important that you have that level of grace for that person and they have it for you as well. So please breathe in and breathe out. This is especially for my ladies, because Bridezilla is the real thing. And as much as you might think that you're not one, wait till you're planning that wedding. You will become a bridezilla of some sort. Our degrees may be different in the bridezilla-ness, but you will become a bridezilla of some sort. So it is very important that you give your partner grace and you ask for the same grace. Next up on our list, set a reminder for everything. Make sure that you have a reminder for your cake tasting, for your venue viewing, for listening to your DJs, for your photographer, making sure that you have taken certain pictures, your pre-wedding pictures and things like that as examples for what your wedding pictures are going to look like. Make sure that you do all of those activities, please. I will give you an example. Because we planned our wedding in such a short period of time, we did not get the opportunity to do our pre-wedding pictures. Even though we paid for them, we didn't get the opportunity to do it because we were so stressed with working and doing other things to make sure that our vision comes to life, right? And so we just skipped out on it due to the fact that we had seen the photographer's work. When I tell you that not only did my wedding videos come out looking like someone just used iMovie, as in the videographer had the nerve to even put "thank you for watching" at the end of my wedding video. Thank you for watching with a smiley face. So please, whatever vendors you're using, I want you to make sure that you test them out for yourself, because sometimes people have work that they're showing you and you're like, oh, this person is so good, or it's so great, or I like the way they've done other people's. You might be the example. Don't let them make you the example of what not to do, or how you don't want your pictures or videos to look like, or how you don't want your cake to look like. You don't want what I ordered versus what I got. Don't be that example. So please test out everyone. Set a reminder for everything. Is very important, and miss nothing. And also set a reminder for your payments, because you also don't want to get there on that wedding day and nobody shows up. So it's important that you do that. Next point is that you do not need that many reminders. For example, we had people in New Jersey, Nigeria. We had people out of state, different places out of state. We had people New York. We had people Canada. Like, I sent them the Evite. I sent them this date online. I sent them everything that I could do online on the website. I sent it to them for them to sign up, for them to get constant reminders. That's good enough. You do not need to go printing out 150, which is a mistake I made, to 200 invitations thinking everybody's going to get it. At most, I probably gave out about 50 of those, but I had set up for 200 guests and 350 guests showed up at my wedding. So mind you, only 50 invitations went out. So I'm trying to say something. I'm trying to say that it is important that you not make as many invitations, because why waste money? You're just going to have a bunch of invitations in your garage or in your home that you're not using. So just go ahead, print out for the most important people. For example, if I could redo it, I would have done maybe 20, 25 invitations, given it to my pastors, given it to people that my parents would want to give it to, the older generation. But as long as that person is tech savvy, just go on ahead and do everything online and send it to whoever else you want to send it to, and just pray and hope that they make it to your wedding. Leave it at that. But there's no need, because you're not about to travel or mail or ship whatever to Wisconsin, and you don't want to pay $50 per invitation just to, I guess, have them sitting in your garage looking at you. So it's important for you to order just a few invitations. Save some money on it, right? Next is account for at least 50 to 100 people added to the number of people that you already have in mind. For example, if you know your number is 50, Just round it up to 100, 150, period. I'm African, so I can tell. I already knew that there was going to be about 100 people more, but I bargained for 150-ish people more. I think it was a little over 100. I already knew I was going to have more people than I bargained for, but I just didn't know it was going to be that much, as in we ran out of food. So for us to run out of food, that tells you something. So budget, and also set up in a way whereby you are making room for 50 to 100 more people than you think will be there. So it's important that you do that. Unless you're one of those people that you feel like you're going to have like, help at the door or at the seat, where you're like labeling everybody's seat, and you're like, if you're not invited, it's strictly by invitation. If you're not invited, I'm going to direct you to your seat, or somebody's going to direct you to your seat. You're just going to have to stay outside or whatnot. We just don't have that kind of spirit. Whoever wants to celebrate with us, come on, celebrate with us, because this is a joyful moment. We don't have that kind of restriction on us, but some people may have it based off of the hall that they have. Not that they don't want you guys to celebrate with them. They may have it because of the hall that they have or the budget that they have. They may not be able to make room for that 50 to 100 extra. So it is very important that you think about all those things when you're making your guest list and you are setting to invite. And also, if you are one of those people that cannot afford to have those extra people or to make room for extra people, please reiterate several times to your guests that a +1 may not be possible, especially if you're African, because we Africans, we don't hear word. We do not listen. We invite everybody and their mama's third cousin. So it is very, very important that you make people understand that you will not be making room for any extra guests. Next, hire a professional DJ and MC. Girl, boy, you do not want to hire someone who has no experience as a DJ or as an MC. Let me go a little deep into this. Our MC literally carried our wedding. Babatunde, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your efforts. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for being the MC that you were. It's a natural gift. Like, you did an awesome job, and we are so grateful for that. As MC, Babatunde did exceptionally well. He carried that wedding. Even though we did some things last minute, he just went through as if he was born to be an MC, as if he just couldn't do anything else but MC, and it was his destiny to be there that day. So much went wrong, and this man carried it and made it a part of the program. That is why it is so important to make sure that you hire a professional MC, so that way you are not crying premium tears. I'm just trying to save you so that you don't cry on your most special day. DJ. So we do not emphasize enough on how important the music is. We did some things last minute. We're not blaming the DJ entirely. We also did some things last minute. We sent him our music list, I think 2 days before or a day before, something like that. The list of music and things like that that we would like for him to play. However, let's start off by saying this. During my ceremony, he was not outdoors playing my ceremonial songs. We literally had to play our ceremonial songs from YouTube. And we still made a mistake. I walked down the aisle to a Christmas song. If you want me to show y'all that video, I can show you guys in a future video. I walked down the aisle to Christmas songs. That is what I did. Thank God my wedding was in December 1st. It worked out. It made it look like it was part of the whole Christmas thingy. And it wasn't so obvious because most of my guests were Africans, and I don't think they even paid attention to the fact that it was the Christmas song. But it was. Why? Because we had to use someone's phone, attach it to the speaker, and then play. Why? Because my DJ was in the reception setting up. I was not very pleased with that. Secondly, when we went into the reception, our song that we were supposed to walk into was a mistake. It was actually one of the groomsmen's songs that he's supposed to walk into with a bridesmaid that the DJ played during when we were walking in, but I didn't want to create a scene, so we just went down the aisle anyway. I just kept remembering what my aunt said, which was it was about the marriage and not about the wedding. So I didn't get upset, and my husband and I just went ahead and walked down the aisle and happily enjoyed ourselves. But I just wasn't pleased about it. So it's important that you make sure that you test out your DJ and your MC, because I just wasn't pleased about what happened during my wedding. But these are some tips that I would like to share with you guys. Hire a coordinator. And make sure that coordinator is not a friend or a family member. And this is no shade to my wedding coordinator or no shade to any of my friends or family members. They did the best they could. However, I believe if you hire a professional coordinator that's not influenced by any friends or any family member, but just influenced by your vision as a bride and as a groom, it will be a lot more easy for your wedding vision to come to pass and for your whole vendor list to mesh well, because you have this whole other person outside of you that knows your vision and knows exactly what you're looking for at the end of this journey or at the end of this event. So please, if you're going to be cheap with a planner, whereby you don't want to hire a planner, you want to plan everything yourself, great. But make sure you have a coordinator of the day, because you will be marrying the man of your dreams and he will be marrying you. So having a coordinator that has the same vision you have and knows what you want for that day is important, because that's another person outside of you running around doing the errands, making sure things go as they're supposed to. And please do not let it be a friend or a family member. Please just don't. Just listen to me. Just don't. If you want me to elaborate more on that, I will later on. But this is the best time for you to comment what your thoughts are. I'm going to go ahead and give some bonus tips. Some bonus tips I have down here are smile no matter what. Because you have people taking videos and people taking pictures of you on their phones, you have photographers everywhere, you have videographers everywhere. It is important that you, even if you're tired of smiling, just do this. Smile all the time. It is important that you smile all the time. And the reason why is because you want all your videos and pictures to all come out good, regardless of whose phone or whose camera it's on. You want to make sure that it comes out really good and that you're not pouting or you don't have any awkward looking pictures or whatnot. It's inevitable. All of our pictures are not going to come out great, but at least you're smiling all of them, and at least you look happy and joyful, and that's the memory people have of you, of your special day. It is so important for you to smile during your special day. And I would say, last but not least, if you see anything that is wrong, for example, maybe your flower vases are not full of flowers like you would have wanted, or let's say there's something on the floor that you want picked up, or what, just call one of your bridesmaids, speak to them privately and have them coordinated. Do not try to do anything yourself. That is the day for you to be a queen and a king. That is the day for everybody else to wait on you. You paid all this money. You've come this way. You've worked so hard. You've come all this way just for you to enjoy this day. So do not stress yourself. Give it to someone else on that day. The time for you to stress ends at midnight on the day of your wedding. I love you guys, and I want you guys to go ahead, like, subscribe, comments, please. I want you guys to like and subscribe and comment. And if you would like more videos like this, please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. You know what to do, guys. I love you guys so much. Bye.